If you've ever delivered amazing work just to be ghosted by your customers, you're not alone. Late paying customers are one of the most frustrating parts about running a business. And if you don't have clear systems in place, they'll eat up your cash flow, your time, and your patience. In this video, I'm going to walk you through why customers delay their payments, how to prevent it from happening, and how to collect payment without begging or ruining and damaging the customer relationship. My name is Andrea, and if you're new to my channel, I own a home service business as well as an AI and automations business. Now, when I started in AI and automations, I didn't start because I wanted to get into tech and this new trend. I started because I was extremely frustrated, burned out, and exhausted from running my home service business. Fast forward 2 years later, we have automated and implemented artificial intelligence in our business, and now I don't operate the business anymore. I'm completely hands-off. My husband runs it by working 20 hours a week remotely. I'm able to focus my time on doing what I love doing, which is implementing an AI and automations in other businesses. Now, one of the most frustrating parts for me when running my home service business was definitely chasing after customers that would refuse to pay their invoices. It was exhausting, it was time consuming, it was one of those things that I had in my to-do list, and I just hated doing it so much that I would push it off. And then last thing I knew was I was checking on those late payments and they were now 30 days past due and the customer still had not paid. Now, if you can relate to this, then this is a video for you. And I hope you watch until the end because it's definitely going to solve a lot of your problems. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the step-by-step process that you need to take in your business to get rid of this ongoing headaches. Let's go on to part 1, and that's why late payments happen in the first place. First, we have to understand the psychology behind late payments, and it usually falls under one of these 3 categories. Number 1, it's forgetfulness. They got busy, your customers had no bad intent, they just simply forgot. I mean, I know it happens to me all the time, and that's why I must have everything in autopay. Now, the reason number 2 is they have cash flow issues, and so they're waiting to get paid themselves in order to pay you. And the reason number 3 is they're just disrespectful and they're just avoiding paying you. And so most people are not malicious, but that doesn't make it okay. Now, the longer you do let it slide, the more it becomes a pattern. And that is on us as business owners. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So unfortunately, whenever customers know that they can do this, they will continue to do it. Now, let's go over 2 statistics that are going to be very important to always keep in mind. The first one is that businesses that send their invoice on the same day that they have completed the job get paid 5 times faster than businesses that wait over 24 hours to send that invoice, which means that the longer you wait to send that invoice, the most likely it is that you won't get paid or that the customer will completely just not pay you. The statistic number 2 is that the average small business has $84,000 in outstanding invoices at any given time, and automating follow-ups can actually recover between 30 and 60% of those late payments. Now, small and medium-sized businesses write off between 5 and 10% of their invoices as bad debt every year. You want to make sure that you're not one of those businesses and that you do your part to ensure that you get paid as best as possible by sending invoices on time, by following up with your customers. Let's go on to part 2, which is how to prevent late payments from happening in the first place. So the way we stop late payments before they happen is, number 1, we set clear expectations upfront with the customer in writing. Extremely important, because if we don't have a signature, the customers just could pretend that you never said anything. So when setting these terms in writing, when you're sending that in writing to the customer, you have to make sure that you're very specific. This means you include due dates, penalties, when the service will be paused if the payment isn't received. Be as specific as possible. The second thing that you want to do to prevent late payments is to require a partial or full payment upfront. For new clients or big projects, you always want to ask between 50 and 70% upfront. This filters out bad actors fast. I know that in our business, we're always asking for 70% upfront whenever we have big projects. Step number 3 will be to use automations to follow up on people delaying their payments. If they're forgetting, you need to remind them. And so you can actually use tools like QuickBooks or Stripe. Possibly even your CRM has automated follow-ups where you can send text messages or emails 5, 10, and 15 days once the invoice is past due. This helps keep things professional and very consistent. Now, if you want to go sniper mode on your customers like I personally have, then you're probably going to want to do what I did, which was creating a voice agent that uses artificial intelligence to actually call customers every other day once their invoice is past due to remind them and to follow up on the payment. And so if they will have a full-on conversation with the customer, and the voice agent will even send them a link on the spot via text message for the customer to process the payment right there on the spot. Now, the best part about having a voice agent is that it's polite, it's professional, and it's consistent. It's going to call as much as it needs to call to ensure it collects on that payment. I no longer have to get frustrated and think about those past due invoices because I know that I have an agent that is constantly calling and following up on that for me. The last way that you can actually prevent past due invoices as much as possible is by adding late fees and incentives in the notifications. So you want to let them know that you will be adding a late payment fee between 5 to 10% if the payment is not received by the due date. You can also offer early payment discount. It sounds simple, but it works. People respond to incentives and consequences. Now let's go on to part 3, which is how to collect on late payment. If a client hasn't paid, you want to follow this simple process. The first step that you're going to take is just send a gentle reminder. So you're going to say something like, hey, Mr. Customer, this is just a friendly reminder that your invoice for the installation of the tree palm was completed on June 1st. Could you please confirm when we can expect the payment? It's something super friendly, very casual. The second notification that you're going to send to the customer is a lot more firm, and this one looks something like this. Hi, Mr. Customer, we haven't received your payment yet. Per our terms and conditions, the service will be suspended if we don't receive payment by X date. We'll also add a late payment fee of 10%, and it will be applied to your invoices if it's not paid by tomorrow. Would you like to process that payment today? And then step 3 is just sending that final notice, and that one is a little bit stronger, and that one looks something like this. As of today, the invoice is 20 days overdue. We've paused all your services and have applied a late fee of $100. If your payment's still unresolved by June 30th, then we'll escalate to collections. Your communications, your messages have to be calm, clear, and professional. No emotion, no begging, and no, you're not being rude. You're running a business. If someone reaches out to you saying like, oh, this message was extremely aggressive, you can just say, oh, I'm sorry, we just have this automated notifications that we send to our customers whenever we don't receive payment. Now, part number 4 is when to let go and when to actually take legal action. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, no matter what you do, you probably will have a customer that just refuses to pay. And in those cases, the first thing that you want to do is you want to cut ties immediately. So you want to suspend all services and not deal with that customer anymore. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you document everything. You want to make sure that you have that signed estimate where you told the customer specifically what the terms and conditions were, the service that you would provide, pictures of the service that you actually completed, making sure that it actually matches what you set on the estimate, and the agreement that they were actually process the payment by X date. We have personally built a relationship with our collections agency where we are able to send them anything that's above $100. Now, if that collections agency still is not able to collect from that payment, then we go on to step number 2, and that is that we file a claim with the small claims court. It's also important for you to know and be aware that you can actually, depending on the services that you provide, on our end, we have a landscaping company, and so we are able to file what is called a mechanic's lien on a customer's property if they don't process the payment for a service that actually improved the property's value. So what this means is that we are not able to place a lien on a customer's property if let's say we're providing maintenance services and they refuse to pay. However, if we do a large project, let's say we do installation of trees or we do installation of sod, something that actually improves the property's value overall, now we are able to place a mechanic's lien, what's also called a constructor's lien, or a property. Now, this is something that you can do in most US states. However, there are specific guidelines, and I know that in Florida, you must notify the customer that you intend to place a lien 45 days from completing the job. Not 46, not 47. It must be less than 45 days from actually completing the job. It's past 45 days and you have not sent that notice by certified mail, again, in writing, and then you cannot place that lien. So it's extremely important for you to know all your options as a business whenever dealing with non-paying customers. But here's the truth. If someone shows you they don't value your time, just don't chase. Just block the door behind them, raise your standards, set clear systems so it doesn't happen to you again. And lastly, and the most important one, is don't take this personal. I used to get so frustrated and upset about this to the point where it would actually impact my quality of life. Until I thought to myself one day, what do I have to learn from this? If this keeps happening, it's clear that I haven't learned my lesson. The lesson was that I had not put systems in place. I didn't have a clear process of what I should do whenever I encountered this type of customers. And dealing with this type of customers is just part of the business. It's just part of the process. After we put the right systems in place, I just kind of backed off from that. I don't think about it anymore. And it's not something that I actually have to spend my brain. There's always going to be that one abusive customer. We actually have one right now that we have actually submitted a claim with the small claims court, and we've submitted all the documentation, sent photos of the service we provided. We have submitted GPS stamps, timestamps, everything, so that we have proof that we have actually provided the service, and this person just refuses to pay. This person in particular, we actually sent them over to collections, and they even refused to pay the collections agency. And the collections agency actually was the one that told us to file a small claims court. And the reason for that is because they had a huge history of other businesses that they had refused to pay. So it's something that they have gotten away with, and that is the reason why they continue to do it. Now, again, by having those clear systems and procedures, we were able to submit a full claim that has proof of everything, proof that they had agreed to the price, that we have provided those services, and it will allow us to get that money back. Now, guys, dealing with late paying customers is painful, but it's also solvable. Putting systems in place, automating reminders, charge upfront whenever you can, and remember, you're not just a service provider, you are a business, so we must act like one. If you want to implement automations and systematize your invoicing and follow-ups, then you want to make sure that you click the link in the description box where you're going to be able to book a 20-minute audit with me, and I can share with you whether it's something that you can do on your end by yourself, or if you need my personal services, then we can go ahead and do that as well. Now, don't let unpaying invoices control your energy, take you back, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can be notified when I upload a new video. I'm always creating videos for business owners like you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.